Hello guys, Void here, welcome back. Today is the release of the second episode of the Nightwave Glassmaker. So in this video we'll be showing on how to do the investigation and the test. So bear in mind that there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this video. If you're not okay with that, feel free to just click away. But if you're here looking for clues on how to finish the investigation and do the test, by all means keep watching. So I'll put in the timestamp here showing the subtopics of what I'll be talking about in this video. First, I'll be talking about how to farm for Self-Light Resonance. If you already know about that, you can move on to the next one. Next, I'll be talking about the first investigation, telling you how to search for the clues, where they are, and what to take note of. And third, I'll be showing you how to complete the first test, which also is a spoiler if you do not want to see how it looks like. And also I'll be showing the second investigation and the test as well later on. So the purpose of doing this investigation and test is for you to earn 7,000 Nightwave standing for each episode, which means since there are 2 episodes right now, you can earn a total of up to 14,000 standing. The reason to do this test is so that you can earn the rewards for Nightwave easier, but there's no reason for you to do the test more than once. Once you complete it, it's over. You are not getting more rewards than that. So it's something for you to bear in mind. So to farm for Self-Light Resonance is pretty easy. They drop from enemies almost anywhere in the game. Anywhere except Void Fissures. My assumption is because that Void Fissure portals and Glass Fissure portals are pretty similar and they cannot spawn in the same game. So you can farm from anywhere, including open world maps like Plains of Eidolon, Orc Vallis, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, Sorties, Syndicate missions, Kuvalish Murmurs farming. You can farm it from anywhere, just not in Void Fissures. So to farm for Self-Light Resonance in a regular mission, or any mission, you will encounter enemies that will eventually turn to glass at random. And these enemies turn to glass because they come into contact with glass fissures, which spawn randomly in the map. And the spawn rate is quite random. It's still quick enough for you to encounter them eventually. Enemies that are turned to glass are invincible. You can't kill them, not until you shoot the glass nodes that are spawning around their bodies. You can see glass-like particles which are very fragile. As long as you shoot them, they break. And if you shoot all of them from their body, they become vulnerable. You can use weapons that are like precision weapons, melee attacks, and beam weapons like the flamethrower Ignis Wraith will work as well. But I noticed that AoE weapons like the Brahma, the Kuva Brahma, you will have a harder time of breaking it because it seems apparent that AoE damage does not affect the glass nodes. So take a precision weapon with you anywhere you go, so that you can break those glass nodes easily. When they are vulnerable, you can kill them and they'll explode shortly after for a little bit of damage, so that's something you need to watch out for. After you kill them, they drop Self-Light Resonance. And take note that resource boosters do not work on them. So if you have a resource booster up, you will not be getting double Self-Light Resonance. But Warframe abilities like Necros Desecrate, Ivara's Prowl, Korra's Strangle Dome, or Hydrod's Pilfering Swarm, all those abilities that force the enemy corpse to drop another loot table, also seems to work apparently. So you can use that to your advantage. So why do you need Self-Light Resonance? Well, you need this as a fee in order to take the test after you complete your investigation. And you can carry up to a maximum of 20 Self-Light Resonance. That's the max you can carry. You need to pay 10 Self-Light Resonance to take the test once. Yes, that means you can fail. So if you fail, you get another try. And if you fail the second time again, it's time for you to farm the Self-Light Resonance all over again so you can take the test again. So bear that in mind. So here I have a recording of me going through the investigation and the test the first time. The first recording is pretty much as recorded before. So you can see this is how you can get into the investigation. So you select the icon in the bottom right of this video here.
Welcome. Heard of those cubes? You know, cephalons, right? Probably got one a bit cracked, kissing up to you all the time. See, in the old days, crime and punishment was all in the hands of those Orican judges, the Seven. Mercy was the quick flash of the jade light. But if they wanted to make an example, they'd suck up your soul and make you a prisoner of the glass forever. Seems like magic to us nowadays, but dreamers, someone's got it puzzled out again. Waves are buzzing, new glass is showing up. Souls getting snapped up and trapped up. All we've got to go on is this crime simula I pulled from the weave. No sign of our killer, and not a soul to tell us where they went.
So immediately once the intro is finished, you can move around this area. The area is quite small, so it's not a lot for you to explore. There's a total of 5 clues that you need to look for. So immediately you can look for the first one here.
Take a look around. See if you can suss out any clues about whoever this Glassmaker might be. That's it, I guess. That energy resonance. You see it change?
You get this kind of effect because you have collected enough cephalite resonance.
Used to be a middle-aged Austrian, but he's been degraded from the inside out. Glassed. But not all the way. You see in that left hand? Burned. Weirdest of the weird. What's left of him is resonating. Like singing some weird-ass song. Not digging this. Not at all.
Now you don't want to start the test yet because you need clues in order to complete it. So now we're going to look around for clues. Here's our first clue. It's an Austrian weapon. For every player, the type of clues you get is different. So bear that in mind. What you need to watch out for in this weapon clue is the shape of the weapon. Know what type of weapon it is. Remember it because this is going to be given as a form of a choice. You have to pick the correct weapon that aligns with your.
Not the tools of someone who works the tower scaffolds. Was he expecting trouble?
Second clue can be found here. So this is basically a message, a data pad of sort. Now you don't really need to worry too much about what the content of the message is. What you need to know, what you need to remember and take a note of, take a piece of paper and write it down, or just write it on a notepad or somewhere, of all the names that you find in the message here. So things like Unum, what else? The Void, and Orokin. And if you see a text that is brighter, is brighter in color, like the word here, tubular array, take note of that as well, and remember that. And certain other names like the note written by BV down there, note that as well. It's always good to remember all sorts of names so that you can. You never know, at random they might just bring out some sort of question for you to quiz, and you have to use what clues you have to write it to select it.
Looking for custom tech, but it sounds like our guy didn't have the means.
Our third clue here is the Iron Eye. It's pretty much just a gem. The only thing you need to take note of is the symbol, how it looks like. So in this symbol here, you can see it's like a cross with some triangles on it. So remember, I will have to remember how that looks like.
Folklore has it these Iotans used to hold memories. Nowadays, some Austrians survive peddling old war trinkets like this, harvested from the tower.
The next one is another data pad as well. This is much easier. You can see the image is a picture of Maru. So remember that. Again, remember all types of names you can find on this note here, Venusian.
Community, sharing. It's ingrained in Austrian culture. Unusual that one would be looking to make a score of their own outside their commune markets.
And lastly, this is another note that you can find. Take note of all the names you can find on this clue. The name like Shig. What else? Scaffolds. Elder Konzu. Prageshta. Prageshta is a highlighted word in this note, so take extra careful note of that word. So once you've locked down all your clues, you are ready to take the test. From here on, it's going to be a spoiler. If you do not want to see how it looks like, click away, select to the next part of the video, or you can end the video right here.
I'm so glad you're here. Was old Shig a mutual acquaintance? How well did you know him? Really?
Note there's a timer at the bottom right there. You have 60 seconds to complete the test. If you run out of time or you fall down into the ravine, you fail the test and you have to pay another 10 Cephalites resonance again. So try not to fail. So that was the first weapon that you seen in the first clue. Maru was part of the message that you found in the third clue. Tubular array was part of the highlighted message. And this symbol was shown in the Iotan star. Prageshta was part of the last clue. And there you go, you have completed the first investigation test.
Legum? That's an Orokin word. Means law. Ain't nobody using that word these days. He sounds friendly enough, but listen to that anger. Anger like that only builds. The soul he took held a clue. My gut says the only way you're tracking the Glassmaker is from inside that maze. Bad news is the trail's gone cold. But the bad vibe snaking up my spine says it won't be for long. Stay in touch, Dreamer. The Glassmaker's just getting started. I can feel it.
There you go, you got 7,000 standing for Nightwave. So here's the video for the second episode of the investigation, which just released today.
Now you might be wondering if I'm holding back on y'all. Dreamers. glass is still turning up, dreamer. But you already knew that, didn't you? Probably ran into a few cephalites yourself. Partial glass, like a cephalon interrupted. Well, it seems they're on the move now, changing course. Why? Here's the only lead we have. A new crime scene I managed to grab before the taxman moved in. Solo gig on a Corpus A train. You know what to do. Work the evidence. Piece it together. See how it connects. It's the only way back to that twisted weave. It's the only way to find out who's behind this and put a stop to it.
Again, same like the first investigation. You can start looking around, finding for clues.
Every day they recite that corpus dogma, the creed of righteous greed.
Immediately you can find the first clue, which is this helmet of the corpus. Now what you need to take note of and remember is the design and the shape of the helmet. That's all you need to look for.
No accident their hoods look like this. Built-in voice modulator does the rest. Just another robot to the corpus.
So here's the second clue. It's a radiometrics data. And notice the highlighted text again. Remember the number 3.6. Yours could be different. So remember yours and take note, write it down in the notepad. And here is the third clue. What you need to remember is the shape, the pattern of the X marks on this data pad. I don't think there's much you need to take note of in terms of the wordings on the data pad as well. Just remember the shape, the face, how it looks like.
Expensive stuff. Did he see it for what it was? Corpus propaganda.
And here's the fourth clue, the journal. Remember the symbol on this journal. So for mine, it looks like a shield with some rays beneath it. And also notice the highlighted word, a joke. Yours could be different, so take note of that.
Oddly personal. What's this doing without a cipher?
And finally, the last piece, which is being very sneaky, is hidden under the bench. Remember the image, which for me is a red planet. Yours could be different.
Bach Vondu, fiber jockey. If I know my corpus script, this one had serious technical chops.
So now we're ready to do the test.
Oh dear, we meet again. I really am in the middle of something. I find chaos unsettling.
So as you can see there, I failed the test by jumping off the ridge. I have to take it again.
Oh dear, we meet again. I really am in the middle of something. is guilty of the good they did not do. If one only looks. And I see everything. What to do. What to do.
Been nagging at me. The word legum. That Oracan word for law. I put the feelers out. My network, little ducks, the quills. Dreamer, I think I know who the Glassmaker is. Or who he was. Nahil. Every Ceph you ever met was once a person. Before they met him, he made them all. For them. For the Oracan. As a punishment that would never end. Now that Vondu's built him that broadcaster, he's looking to graduate from murder to mass murder. Nahil's gonna go wide.
So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something from it and I hope you like it. Please do give it a thumbs up, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll see you again in the next one. Void, signing out.